Welcome to another installment or episode or series of Dashbar or Die. Zest PSA is built around turning your customers into raving fans, right,
yes.
Chad?
And the key feature for that is the Dashbar.
The Dashbar. The Dashbar is the shining star. No other tool out there has the Dashbar like Zest. It is absolutely the best thing out there in the industry to make sure that you're being able to build a thriving MSP or IT service. And today we're going to talk about the overdue tickets.
The one most likely to turn yellow any given day.
Absolutely.
It's the one that when new tickets come in, they turn yellow. That's normal.
Yep.
But when that turns yellow, somebody missed something.
Yeah, you definitely, having overdue tickets go red or just missing them is an absolute death nail to your organization.
And yet, most PSAs don't have overdue at all.
Right.
And if they do, it's not in a way that you can actually usually do anything about it. Right. I remember way back when the big legacy, the biggest on the market, it had due dates.
Yes.
And every now and then somebody would even set a due date.
Right.
And it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And of course you can try to build your org around it, but the tool itself made it really difficult.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. With our Dashbar, we're trying to make it really easy.
Yeah, easy. And you don't need to hire a consultant and pay $50, $60K. You don't need to go to a university to learn how to use it. Out of the box, ready to go. Yep. And so we're going to talk about, if you keep your overdue ticket where they should be, all green.
All green.
Keep overdue tickets all green. We're going to talk about 3 things that's going to happen. And the first thing is you're going to meet customer expectations. Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. When you schedule a ticket, you're either scheduling it, and that's what the overdue tickets is. Something was scheduled, and then, you're overdue. It did not get worked on when it was supposed to. You either scheduled it and told the customer you're scheduling it. Well, boy, you better do it, or you're failing to meet that expectation.
Yeah.
Or you're scheduling it because you know that the customer needs you to do it in a certain time period.
Yeah.
And again, if you don't get it done in that time period, you failed their expectation.
Yeah.
Big crack things fall into.
Yeah.
And this gauge helps you prevent things from falling into the I failed your expectations.
Absolutely.
Trap.
And that's the deal. Like, these customers have expectations that they're not going to have downtime, that the issues they need addressed proactively or reactively, whatever, get handled. And how many times in our journey, did we hear, customers that had been with bad service, it just goes into a black hole. Never gets done, never gets addressed. Yeah, you don't want to hear that.
And as MSPs scale, you move from that first touch resolution, which you can do when you're small.
Yes.
And you're hanging your hat on that first touch resolution.
Yeah.
Right? Some people call it first call resolution. We say first touch because we don't really want customers to have to call. Put your ticket in the normal channel, it'll get addressed, and everybody's happy. But as you grow, it doesn't always work that way, and pretty soon a significant chunk of your tickets can't be handled the first time you touch them.
Right.
You have to make a plan. You have to schedule something.
Yes.
That's where orgs have trouble scaling. The MSPs,
absolutely,
you get into that size, and now customers always have something that's not meeting their expectations, and they notice.
Yep. To meet those customer expectations, do not have overdue tickets and become a master at scheduling.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of tools out there, but it's within Zest. It's just built in. You just schedule it.
But you just schedule it. We made it really easy. It's a natural part of the workflow. And if you are not meeting your customers' expectations, they will not become raving fans.
That's right. And the other thing too that's important, that you have to think about your work environment. It's so important. You got to keep techs and engineers rolling and happy. And so not meeting those customer expectations means you're going to have stress in your org. You don't want a bunch of unhappy customers. It stresses out the techs and engineers.
It does. And the overdue ticket, the second thing is it does directly impact your stress and the workflow of every individual technician.
Yeah, there you go.
I had worked as a tech in one of these big PSAs, and I had a bunch of scheduled tickets.
Yeah.
And you know where they were? They were right in front of my face all day because I'm just looking at my assigned tickets list.
Right.
And I have this giant workload always there.
Right.
Even if I'm caught up, it's always there. Yeah. That's not how it is. The overdue tickets gauge lets you see the tickets when you need them.
Right.
And then only if you failed do you get the alert. Only if something's going off the trails.
Right.
When you schedule things, they're off your plate. You can focus on what you can work on, and when it's time to work on them, they pop right up.
Absolutely. In Zest, you keep your work very organized.
Yes.
It's not all just piled onto you. It's very organized within the app.
Yep.
And within the product. And so overdue tickets meet customer expectations. And number 2 is focused workflow. Wanting your techs and engineers, they want to be better professionally, better personally, and also no burnout. If they have this focused workflow, they're not going to have burnout.
Yeah, and it goes back to one of the core principles about making your customers raving fans. You take care of them and they'll be raving fans. So that's job 1. Job 2 is you take care of your workers, because if you have high turnover, your customers are going to feel it and they're not going to be happy.
And we rejected that when we built our MSP. We had heard it, everyone out there, it's just the way it is. You have high turnover. And we rejected it. And we did not have we had very low turnover in our MSP. So the third thing is more sales. Do not have overdue tickets, and you're going to have more sales.
Yeah, the number 1 complaint, and I think everybody knows this.
Yeah. When
you get a new customer, the number 1 complaint that the previous MSP, they had with their previous IT company is, they just never got back to me on things.
Yeah, exactly.
When you reach that point, when you are going overdue on things, your customers might start shopping around.
Absolutely.
And if you are the company who doesn't go overdue, people are going to be shopping you. Right. That's where you're going to be where they're coming.
That's right. You're going to build that reputation.
Oh, yeah.
Brand. Nothing gets dropped.
I remember.
And it's more sales.
I remember when we had somebody ask, in their peer group, kind of for a referral, and they had 3 of our customers.
Yeah.
3 completely separate customers refer. That was the easiest sell we ever had.
Very powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, who do you all recommend? All 3 of them are using our MSP. So, yeah, I love it. So, don't have overdue tickets. With Zest, it makes it really easy to manage and make sure you do not have overdue tickets. Keep it green.
Keep it green.
When it goes yellow, be concerned, be worried, get in there, look clickable, exactly what's going on, get it back to green. Don't let it go red. Very simple, very easy to do this.
Yeah, and that's a bonus tip about the gauges. These gauges, the company sees them.
Yep.
And if that gauge is yellow, you can click it and you can say, oh, wow, so-and-so, they're caught up.
Yep.
And they have a scheduled item.
Yep.
And somebody can jump in and grab it.
That's right.
And so
visibility to the whole org is so important.
And the gauges are your last line of defense. They're not supposed to be changing color all the time.
Right.
When you're running normally, when everything's running smooth, they'll stay green. And then when they do, you've got a safety valve before a customer's upset.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Very important thing to make sure that you're keeping your eye on is those overdue tickets.
Yep.